Coming up on DITV, we take a look at how U.S. students take part in a Malaysian cultural event.
And later, I stopped by the Fresh Check Day, which took place at the Iowa Memorial Union.
And one Hawkeye basketball player could be leaving the program early.
And Iowa City gets ready to host the biggest wrestling tournament in the world.
We'll be seeing some clouds and possible snow. Stay tuned as I give you more in this week's forecast.
All that and more coming up.
Stay right where you are. DITV starts now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Lauren Varell.
And I'm Sydney Zatz.
The name of the shooter at YouTubers headquarters has been revealed, as well as a possible motive. Located in the complex just outside San Francisco, Nazim Agam opened fire in the building yesterday, leaving 3 people wounded. 1 is in critical condition. It is believed Agam was a disgruntled customer of YouTube. Authorities have uncovered a website revealing her frustration with having her content restricted on the video sharing platform. Officials have said the shooter was found dead as a result of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Stick with Daily Iowan as we keep you updated as the story develops.
A new Iowa law is causing controversy. Johnson County Judge Paul Miller, who served as a judge in the Lamar Wilson trial last week, is seeking clarity on Iowa's newest stand your ground law. For Miller, he writes how the law is not clear on procedures and doesn't include specific situations. Drake Law School professor Robert Rigg believes it is not only unclear, but, quote, a bit of a mess. Rigg goes on to say what the legislature has done is they've created a can of worms and they're going to let the courts sort it out, end quote. Since its introduction last year, 1 person has been granted immunity through the law.
Today marks the 15th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination. Known for his peaceful protests on the civil rights in the 1950s and 60s, his sudden death shocked people across the country. This included Iowa Governor Harold Hughes, who met with African-American ministers to find peace for the nation. The complete story, which has been republished from the 1968 Daily Iowan article, can be found in today's Daily Iowan newspaper.
Students on campus have the opportunity to form cultural organizations and plan events. Mock Shadi is the most recent of these events, and DITV news reporter Jingya Kim went to check it out.
What is What is
All right, well, sorry about those technical difficulties. Lauren, this morning I woke up, I saw some snow on the ground, I saw some frost, but I looked at my calendar, it is April 4th.
I know. Hopefully with all of these spring events coming up, the weather warms up. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Sam for hopefully some good news regarding the weather.
Sam?
Yeah, guys, I can't believe it's April and we're still experiencing snow. We're going to see some more later this week, but today we woke up to some beautiful sun and some chilly weather. The sunny weather is expected to last through the afternoon with a high of 39 degrees and a low near 25. As we keep moving into the week, it's nothing but clouds. Thursday we'll have an overcast with a high of 49 and our coldest low of the week at 20 degrees. Moving on to Friday, we'll be experiencing some very chilly weather with a high of only 31 and a low near 20. And get ready for some high winds, expect to be around 15 to 25 miles per hour. Then Saturday, we're still experiencing that cloudiness, but it warms up a bit with the temperatures reaching a high of 40 and a low of 26 degrees. Then Saturday, we have to brace ourselves as there's a 70% chance of snow that could reach up to 3 inches of accumulation. As well as high winds and rain, our temperatures at a high of 40 and a low of 31. As we jump into the start of next week, there's a possibility of some snow showers Monday morning and a 60% chance of rain in the afternoon, with temperatures at a high of 39 and a low of 26. In the evening, it'll be mostly cloudy with a 50% chance of snow. Accumulation should be less than 1 inch. So we won't be seeing much sunshine this April, but go ahead and try and keep your heads up. Have a fantastic Wednesday and back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Sam, and I'm not sure how I'm feeling about those 3 inches of snow that we're expecting. Today is the second day of a busy couple days for Iowa City delegates from countries such as South Africa, Spain, and Iraq. They're here in Iowa City for the annual Cities Literature Conference. While many events are closed to the public, one panel discussion encourages people to attend. It will be this Thursday from 5:15 to 6 at Hancher Auditorium. And a University of Iowa program is taking a new approach to helping students with substance abuse problems. This is a way for students to find their own ways to overcome addiction. Students will receive support regardless of their stage in recovery. Daily Iowans Marissa Payne speaks with a UI student who brought the program to campus. The full story can be found in today's Daily Iowa newspaper.
The UI Counseling Service had their annual Fresh Check Day fair. I had the chance to attend and see what the event was all about.
The second annual Fresh Check Day occurred yesterday in the main lounge of the Iowa Memorial Union. This event is centered around promoting a positive mental awareness for students and teaching them to be advocates for themselves and their friends.
So Fresh Check Day is a campus mental health fair. We're checking in with campus student mental health. So it's a coming together of over 20 organizations on campus and in town who all have come together to stage events and activities and educate students around suicide prevention, mental wellness, and campus resources.
With 20 organizations present, each had a unique message to send to students. I spoke to the president of the group Beta, Body Image Eating Disorder Awareness, to find out what guidance they were offering to students who visit their booth.
We are a student organization on campus, and what we do is we help educate people about positive body image, as well as eating disorders, as well as the resources on campus. And so on here we have some activities. We have a no-filter photo booth. Take some pictures of yourselves. We also have a little thing over there, trash your insecurities. And so that you just write something into your, you just throw it away. Because we're all about showing people that you as a person are beautiful and everything about you is good.
The activities at each booth are centered around mental health. They range from positive messaging and meditation to coloring and petting therapy dogs. The UI Counseling Service hopes to grow this event and offer it sooner in the school year. Reporting from the Iowa Memorial Union, this is Lauren Varell, DITV News.
Lauren, yesterday was definitely a good day to be inside, but so is today, and this weather is not in favor of any spring sports.
Definitely not. I certainly hope the weather warms up, but let's kick it off to see what's going on with Hawkeye sports.
Thanks, guys. Of course, it's not the best weather for spring sports, but we do have an update. Another Hawkeye basketball player could be leaving the program. Yesterday, Iowa guard Isaiah Moss announced he submitted papers for early entry to the 2018 NBA draft.
Moss said in his statement yesterday, "My family and I have talked to Coach McCaffrey and we have decided to enter my name into the NBA draft without hiring an agent. It's a dream of mine to play professional basketball. I look forward to going through the process and I thank the coaching staff for helping me through it."
The sophomore will not hire an agent, which leaves the door open for a possible return to the Iowa for 2018-2019 season. Moss has until May 30th to decide.
Iowa football practices, spring practices are now going underway with only weeks to go until the spring game. Some of the coaches are already starting to notice some new leaders stepping up in practice.
The media met with select coaches on the team to catch up with how practices have been going so far.
Being a leader of the room, and we look for, and I lean on him a lot to make sure that he manages the room as a player. You know, I try to give those guys some accountability, and he's the one I look for to make sure he takes on that role with full responsibility.
Started forecasting last year during fall camp, you know, getting him some repetitions, you know, and getting him going. And it's never the most natural thing for a kid unless he's done it for a long period of time. But I thought last fall camp he showed some real promise, and then obviously being thrusted in there in the Wyoming game, you know, he played well. I wouldn't say he played great, but he went in there and handled it, and so far so good.
The Hawks will play in the spring game on Friday, April 20th.
This weekend, Iowa City will host the biggest competition the wrestling world has to offer.
The UWW World Cup is coming to Carver, and the wrestling mecca that Iowa City is couldn't be more excited.
The top wrestling talent in the world will be in Iowa City and has already given the Team USA a warm welcome.
I think we're pretty good hosts here in Iowa City and this wrestling program. I mean, everyone seems to have made themselves at home, which is a good thing. So that means they feel welcome. So I think we've done our job in that sense.
I actually hated Iowa as a collegiate competitor. I had to wrestle Brent Metcalf a few times when I was in college, and I was on the wrong side of a lot of butt kickings. And so I'm a big fan of the Iowa program and of both of the Brands brothers and Dan Gable and everyone who's stepped in this room and created history. So it's good to be back. The feeling of the tradition and just the pure excitement of being in this room, it's evident. So I'm happy to be here.
Iowa City is going to be crazy as it is anyway. You know, I mean, Iowa's, you know, it's like the breeding for wrestling. You know, it's the place where you need to be. I loved it here when I came and I wrestled here for the Olympic trials. You know, it was amazing atmosphere. I expect nothing different. These people love wrestling, and that's why it's awesome that's going to be here. I know people are excited about it, and we're excited about it. We're looking forward to this.
The World Cup kicks off Saturday morning, continues throughout the weekend with the gold medal match taking place Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock.
The Iowa tennis team recently hired a new assistant coach, who was also the last Hawkeye player to be first team All Big Ten. DITV's Will Silverstein has more.
Former Iowa tennis standout turned assistant coach Matt Hagan is implementing the mindsets and strategies that he used to hopefully lift a new generation of Hawkeyes into the NCAA tournament.
So a big thing for us is we try to stress good habits. If you're showing up every single day and you're trying to get a little bit better and try to practice the right things, no matter how long you're out there for, then you're going to get better. And that's something that we talk about a lot, and it's just repetition of good habits and trying to practice the right things every single day.
Ross Wilson was a newly minted head coach when he had Matt on his roster and was seeking an assistant for the coming fall season.
And he asked me if I thought he'd be a good coach, and I said, well, you only know that. And so, you know, it was great that he got an opportunity that following fall when he was finishing school to be my volunteer assistant when I was actually looking for an assistant, and he really enjoyed being on the court with the guys.
Hagan was also the last first-team All-Big Ten player at Iowa, an honor he hopes someone on this team can achieve.
As a player, I mean, it was a super special moment for me, and so to be a coach and have a player get it would just be incredible. I mean, kind of being a leader for the guys, and especially guys that I was maybe teammates with, if they got up there and had a chance to be all Big Ten. For how special it was for me to get that, I think it'd be unbelievable.
Hopefully one player will come through for the Hawks. This has been Will Silverstein, DITV Sports.
Hagan and the Hawkeyes will hit the road this weekend for matches with Dayton, Ohio State, and Penn State.
That's it for us in the sports studio. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for a recap on Iowa's baseball's game against Grandview.
And we'll hear from the Iowa golf team.
Guys at the desk, back to you.
Thanks, guys, and definitely a big weekend here in Iowa City. Lots of wrestling, baseball.
Yeah, and speaking of, a documentary screening is coming to Iowa City with a focus on dangers of opioid addiction. This event is hosted by CRUSH, which stands for Community to Stop Heroin, and will take place on April 16th at 6 p.m.
It follows a man whose life has been damaged by his opioid addiction. After the film, 2 guest speakers will talk about their son's death from addiction and discuss the danger of using opioids. It will take place at the River Community Church. And that's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
Be sure to head over to DailyIowanTV.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
If that's enough for the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now.
For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Lauren Burrell.
And I'm Sydney Zatz. We'll see you here tomorrow, same time, same place, and hopefully a little bit warmer.